Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Covering both sides of the big issues with the analysis you trust on News Radio 1040 WHO.
Spencer O'Leary is a regular guest on this show, and he is an expert on managing remote employees. Lots of people are doing this, Spencer. Welcome back. How are you, my friend?
I am good. How are you?
I'm excellent, thank you. You're never home. Where are you now?
I'm actually in Mexico this week. I'm in Cancun.
There you go.
A little bit of holiday and a little bit of work.
I think you were in Cancun last time we spoke to you while you were working, in fact. So you obviously like it over there.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good. All right, so lots of people have lots of gigs these days.
They do, and I think there's a right side of the line and a wrong side of the line for these people who have got multiple jobs. And like your colleague you were just mentioning, people who have got multiple jobs at different times of the day, I think that's quite acceptable. People have been doing that for years.
Yep.
One of the things we've now found is people who have got multiple jobs at the same time of the day, and they're not giving either employer their full attention or their full focus. And I think that's crossing the line.
Okay, so give me an example.
So we hear about people in the media who have maybe taken two jobs. They've got two laptops. They work 7 hours a day, the same 7 hours a day, for two different organizations, and they're juggling between laptops, between meetings, and they're trying to convince both employers that they're working full-time for each of them. And they're not giving them their full attention. They're not giving their full focus. They're not delivering the right level of output. And I think that's a real concern. We need to make sure we are measuring what employees do in terms of input and output, and stop this dual jobs at the same time as they have.
Right. Okay. So these individuals are earning a lot of money, right? Or they could be earning a lot of money.
They're kind of earning double money. I even heard a report or read a report this week where someone was trying to do this with 3 jobs.
Wow.
Across the same time window in the day. They'd applied for the jobs. They worked from home. They'd had laptops shipped to them. They were running all 3 laptops and trying to juggle between being off video on one laptop so they could go on video in a meeting, even trying to run and attend multiple meetings together. I mean, this is crazy to think that people can add value if they're trying to do all of these multiple things at once.
Is this just a hangover from the pandemic? I mean, is this something that you think is going to go away, or you just got some individuals that are, they're pulling down $500,000 a year now because they got all these multiple jobs, so they're going to keep doing it?
Yeah, I think probably a bit of a hangover from the pandemic. But let's remember, people have been working from home for years, particularly in the North American healthcare industry. They really embraced a work from home.
Mm-hmm.
But when organizations had people working from home, they also invested in the technology to make sure those people were productive, that their well-being was catered for, and that there was a good sort of employee-employer, management-to-person conversation about inputs and outputs. How many hours do people work and how much work do they do? And the pandemic really fast-tracked that, and a lot of organizations have now either chosen or been forced to have a hybrid work policy and a hybrid work environment, and they've just not yet invested in the infrastructure to make sure that's a good place for the employee and a good place for the employer.
Right at the beginning of the pandemic, I worked from home for a long time. I was definitely more productive at home because there's less distractions. I'm back in the building now, have been for quite some time, and definitely less productive here. Weird, isn't it?
Yeah, and one thing I hear about and I see, the technology we provide helps organizations measure people's inputs and outputs, how many hours they work, how much work they do. Most people call that sort of productivity. And even in the same organization with 2 people doing the same job, some people are more productive in the office and some people are more productive at home. That's just the way of the world. We're all different. We're all individuals. So understanding that as an organization and making sure we manage individuals differently, we've got to get the best out of our people, whether that's working from home, working from the office, and whether that's people's production or people's well-being. Let's make sure we've a balanced set of data points so we can manage appropriately.
So Spencer O'Leary is an expert on managing remote employees. He is the CEO of Active Ops North America. It's a global company, and should bosses, if they suspect their employers are working on multiple jobs at the same time, should they spy on their employees?
I don't think they should spy on them. Measuring what people do, I call it inputs and outputs, how many hours people work and how many widgets or how much work they produce. I think they're entirely appropriate. it's also about having the right culture. So there's no need to spy on employees. Make them aware that these things have been measured, that these things have been monitored. Make that a two-way conversation between management and their employees. If you can create a culture and you can create an environment where people don't believe it's okay to try and have two jobs across the same time window in the day, they don't need to be spied on. They just need to be treated like adults, managed like adults. And if we can get that culture and environment right, we can have a productive place for both employee and employer.
All right. So who should contact you? Is it employers or employees?
A bit of both. I hear really good positive reports from employees who historically have worked either in the office or from home, and they don't know what a good day looks like. They like to have some measurement in their life so they can prove to their boss that they're doing a good job. And I get contact from employers who want to understand what their employees are doing and help them do a good job or even a better job. So employees or employers, if they want to find out more about what we do and help organizations manage in this appropriate way, then activeops.com. Come and check us out, and we'll find a way to talk to each other and help.
All right, activeops.com, and you are in Cancun working. I think you've figured this out.
And thanks, Simon.